You stop following up with the relationships that you had. You stop prospecting to build new relationships. And then all of a sudden your escrow's closed, your pipeline's dried, and you're back to square one. I need to get people who know me, like me, and trust me and want to do business with me. So I need to get heavy on the phone. And that's just the way I do it. If you want to learn how to sell real estate and prospect and converse and have conversations on a high level, you got to pick up the phone. Difference between those that make it and don't is the people that made it felt like giving up, but they didn't act. They just kept going.
Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Reside Platform podcast. My name is Suneet Agarwal, and today we have a very special guest. I was just saying how pumped I am to have this dude on the show. Justin Bringas, Bringas home team. Justin, what's going on?
Not much, my friend. Just trying to help families make good decisions in real estate and reaping the rewards from those efforts.
Oh, yeah. What a good answer. I love that answer so much. You just threw me back. Tell everybody like where you're from, how long you've been in real estate, a little bit about the business.
So born and raised San Diego, California, moved up to Murrieta in 2015. Murrieta is about 40 minutes above San Diego County. Moved up here for affordability. Moved up here for the more of the family environment versus where I was living. And decided in the end of 2014 to come back into real estate. I had started off in real estate late 99, early 2000s. Don't really remember when. Doing loans. Well, because you didn't need a license. Back in the early days.
I did loans too. We all did loans, yeah.
You worked under that corporation license. So I don't know. It's 99, 2000, I started. And then when the market shifted, I didn't plan well. I went into for-profit education, and then that market imploded as well. And found myself in October 2014 back in real estate because I didn't want to go work for another corporate environment and do that whole thing. So came into real estate and, put my head down, prospected my rear end off, and figured it out. And it's been hard. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but 9 years later, I think I've got the groove.
I think you do too, buddy. Let's talk about that groove. You have a team in Murrieta. You guys serve that. What's the area called?
We're in Riverside County, Temecula Valley. So yeah, so we're Temecula, Murrieta, in the surrounding area, basically Southwest Riverside. And then I still dibble dabble in San Diego County, more specifically North County, San Diego. It's a 30-minute drive down the freeway for us. It's an open freeway, so it's just once you leave Temecula, it's all of a sudden it's Escondido, and so it's kind of still my backyard. So I go down there quite a bit as well.
And you have a fast ass car to get there quick, right?
I technically have no vehicles right now. I have a rental Toyota Corolla that I've been in for 2 months. My 2016 failed on me, and my 21 GT 500 threw a rod through the oil pan. So I'm rebuilding 2 cars right now.
Wow, you guys! If you're into cars. Fast cars, loud fast cars, go follow Justin just go follow him and you'll see some cool stuff.
Give me another 60 days when they're running. We got the 21 GT 500 should be about 1,400 horsepower. My 2016, we're going to put a 6XD sequential in it, and we're hoping for 2,000 horsepower on a street car.
What color did I see? That 2021, right?
You saw my GT 500, yeah. The other car, I would drive that to Vegas. It's too far of a drive for it.
Okay, yeah. Post some of those pictures on social media after this episode comes out, so people can see. So you got a team down there. What's the team dynamic? Agents, staff. Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm trying to bring up an environment around prospecting, and it's kind of funny when I go back to it. If I look back on the loans that I was doing in that industry when I was working at a for-profit college, coming back into real estate, I've been on the phone since that 1999, 2000. I've been prospecting.
Wait, were you selling the schools?
Yeah, I worked in admissions.
Wow. No wonder you're such a stud on the phone.
Admissions, check
off, bro.
Check this out. At the school that I worked at, in 6 months, if you could enroll and retain 80 students in 6 months, you were like the bomb, biggity bomb. In January of 2010, I enrolled 79 and I retained 68 of them in 1 month.
Yeah. So they loved you.
I figured it out. It's really weird. I don't got a lot of time, but my first 6 months, I didn't do very well. And we were on a matrix, so it revolved every 6 months. And at the end of that first 6 months, most advisors on my team were getting pretty big raises, and I wasn't. I came from the refinance world where it's like, look, I'll refinance you, I'll pay off all your debt, I'll give you 30 grand in your bank account, and I'm going to save you $7,000 a month. Yeah. And you're like, where do I sign? And now it's like, hey, I need 60 grand for you to go back to school. And so I couldn't transition. And so the end of the first 6 months, I don't get any movement in my pay. Most people on my team were getting raises. The end of the second 6 months, my expectations 1.5 times. It was almost double. It went from 24 to like 64 students. Well, my second 6 months, I enrolled the same amount, and I got a pay cut. My pay went half. I was so broke, I went to payroll. I said, make me exempt. Don't take out any taxes. I had to sell things. I was struggling. I've been to that position a few times in my life.
Sure, same.
And I said to myself, man, I can never let this happen again. So I went around the university and went to the managers and I said, who's your best advisor? He is, she is. I said, hey, can I take you to lunch, man? Show me what to do. I got kids at home. My pay's not even covering my mortgage, man. Like I'm selling myself, like literally to survive here.
Sure.
And everybody told me what they were doing. I took, 7, 8 people out. I had these Post-it notes all around my cubicle. And I remember in December of 2009, I came up to my manager and I figured it out. I wrote my own script. I've got it down. I had 68 students in class. I got 3 months left. And I said, hey, what's the university record in a week? She said 18 enrollments. I said, I'm going to break it. And I came in that week and I enrolled 20.
Oh.
I came in Friday morning with 13 enrollments and I got 7 on Friday. And the point is, and then I went on to January 2010, and that month I enrolled, 79? I stuck 68 or something like that. We figured out the algorithm in HR. Every student over 80 was $1,000 a year. So I knew I was about to make 200. And it had a university enrolling students. Yeah. And long story short, I had these Post-it notes everywhere. I figured it out. I wrote a script. I was unstoppable. Fast forward to 2015, 2016, I read the MREA book. Yeah. It says, find a blueprint, copy it, master it. And I'm like, holy shit, what did I do at that university when I was struggling? I went out and I saw people that were doing what I wanted to do. I asked them what to do. They told me what to do. I did it. And then when I mastered it, I put it all together in my own mind, wrote this script, and I was unstoppable. And I'm like, that's what I need to do in real estate. And I've been searching for blueprints ever since. And I found Reside and we got the blueprint now.
Yeah, dude. Something that I didn't know is we got a similar story. Starting in mortgage, I was like 2001, got out when the crash, got into medical cannabis. That went haywire in Barack Obama's re-election, got out of that, got into real estate in 2014, read the MREA in 2015. Dude, good stuff. So, really good stuff. That's why I love doing these podcasts, because we would never, like, we hang out and we talk. I coach you now, right? And
yeah, I got a hell of a story that I'll open up to sometimes. I have some similarities to John in my choices of self-sabotage for years. Same. I have a drink since 2017.
Good, dude.
That was 9 years of trying to quit. I think it took me 9 years to quit from when I decided I wanted to in 2009 to when I finally stopped. But life's been good, But at the end of the day, as disappointed that I am in myself and sometimes for the choices that I made and how I wish I could have that time back and make different decisions, I have to understand that all of those things that happened to me, even at the self-sabotage that I put myself through, had to happen for me to become who I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually wrote this on Twitter the other day, and I wrote, regret nothing, learn from everything. Right? So maybe I ripped that off from Hermosi or something, but I thought it was pretty good on Twitter. I didn't get much love on it, but hey, I'll put it on Facebook. It's pretty good.
It took me 40-something years in life to figure out what I can and can't do and what's good for me and what's not good for me. I'll probably still make some mistakes, but at the end of the day, I'm a good person.
And your health,
the things I put myself through.
Yeah, and now your health, you're all fit. For those of you watching, like Justin just gone through some big transformation, and so yeah, I mean, I think that's what the 40s are truly about, right?
It's crazy. That I think I did this test the other day. It says my body health is of 34.
Dude, it's good for you. Your metabolic age is friggin' amp. How old are you?
40. I'll be 47 in October.
Dude, your metabolic age is 34.
I'm stoked.
Yeah. So
Hard work.
So tell me the dynamic of the team. You're saying it was a prospecting environment. How many agents are in the organization right now?
Well, we had 16. We had a little bit of a thinning out. We're bringing some more people on, so we should be back to that number very shortly. But we've got a team of agents. We've got an operations team. We've got a marketing and administrative team. And then we just brought an in-house in ISA. We use DCM as well. It's just, to be honest with you, the rule of converting leads is the one with the most contacts or contact attempts win.
Yeah. Good. So what's the operations team look like?
We've got an operations team, Mike, and he's got an assistant that comes in occasionally. We need to actually get him some work because he's a little overworked, but he takes our... the guy works on nights and weekends, and he's a blessing to the team, but he's there to take our contract from contract to close. I want the agents focusing on production. Now, I'm not saying that when you get into escrow, you give your file to Mike and it's like, bye, buyer, see you later. You're still here.
Like that in Cali. It never does.
Yeah, I just don't want you babysitting the escrow and pushing paper. Allow our operations team to do so. We know what to do to stay in compliance. We don't lose files, and it allows the agent to focus on the relationship with their buyer and to focus on building other relationships so that it can be more productive. Because at the end of the day, if you were to look back at 100 agents, the ones that go like this is probably because they work, prospect, get an escrow, babysit, stop prospecting, back to zero, got a prospect, and they have this up and down. And I want to create an environment where somebody can come in and just consistently, slowly rise up. Because, am I right? Like, all of a sudden, a newer agent, and this isn't to knock on anybody, we've all done this, but all of a sudden, we get our first escrow, and our whole 8-hour day is one escrow.
Yep.
And it's like, your escrow needed 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
Not 8 hours. And then all of that building of that pipeline and that funnel deteriorates because you start neglecting your database. You stop following up with the relationships that you had. You stop prospecting to build new relationships. And then all of a sudden your escrow is closed, your pipeline's dried, and you're back to square one. Well, what if we could create an environment through leverage and through using the resources that we've created over the years where, okay, it's not that you ignore your file, but we've got somebody to push the paper for you, for lack of a better word, so you can focus on what matters, and that's maintaining the relationship and building more.
Dude, I love that. So tell me about like how the marketing side of the team works.
So the marketing time, we've got a flow. We want to empower our agents to focus on what matters most. Now, if they're going to post to Facebook and stuff like that, they're going to do that. But if they need flyers for an open house, creating their signature pages, we can help them with some basic guides. Have you heard of Maxa Designs?
Yeah, I know, James.
Sure. So we use Maxa Designs. And
yeah, that's good.
If you're not using Maxa Designs, guys, I would look into it. It's really somewhat affordable, I believe. I don't pay a lot of money. I don't want to say what I pay, but I mean, if I've been in there for years, so I don't know if I'm grandfathered into some price. And I'm going, right? So I'm not going to say.
Sure, yeah.
But for what I have, it's really good. They created marketing for me, so it's got postcards, door hangers, open house flyers, just you name it. Use open house sign. It's got it created. And you can come in there. It's already branded, so it's got your team logo or your broker's logo already in there. There's certain fields that are locked. The agent can draw a picture in, write a description. It already brings in their picture if they got their own profile, and they can make stuff. It's simple, but we many times just do that for them so that there's only one person in Maxa.
Yeah,
it doesn't really take us a lot of time to go in there and click on a couple of things. We can create something in a few minutes. Sure. So that's been really helpful. But our marketing team is just really there to assist the agents in what they may need marketing wise. If we need lists for circle dialing, it goes farther than just making a brochure, right? But we want to make sure
lists and all that.
What's that?
You have them scrape lists from data sources and do all that.
You should always be, right?
Yeah.
Or watch Suneet's little Facebook class on how to upload a custom audience and run ads to them using a CSV file.
Yeah. what's working? Because I mean, obviously we work together inside of Reside. How's the year going?
Awesome. We are almost at or have passed. I'm logging into CC real quick to look. We are at what we did last year.
It's friggin' May 21st, and you have matched last year.
Yeah.
So, without us getting into numbers, everybody listening and watching, that's friggin' great, right? It's May, and you're where you're at last year. What's working?
Hard. I was going to swear, hard work, dude. Hard work. It is. If I was a brand new agent,
okay,
this is how I would operate. I would come in every day, and the first thing I do from 8 to 10 a.m. is I'd prospect new leads. People I do not have a relationship with because they're getting ready to work, they're driving to work, they're more likely to answer an unknown phone call.
Okay.
Once they get into work, they use the restroom, they get their coffee, they're at a meeting, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's very hard to get them to answer during the day. In my opinion, 8 to 10, 4 to 6. 8 to 10 and 4 to 6 is my best time of day for a new uncontacted lead, somebody I do not have a relationship with. Then I would 10 to 11, I would follow up with all of the people I already have a relationship with because they already know me, they know my phone number, and if they're busy, they'll answer. Let me know they're busy, but they're more likely to answer my calls.
Okay, great.
11 to 12, I will either want to do admin, or if I don't have a pipeline yet, I'm doing some sort of self-education.
Good.
Learning.
Yeah.
Taking something to learn.
Sure.
And if I'm burnt out on learning because I don't want to learn 5 days a week, maybe I learn 2 or 3 days a week, at 11 o'clock, I'm just back on the phone prospecting.
Yeah.
I have no pipeline. I'm a brand new agent. I don't have any business. I don't have any clients. I first need to build that pipeline. I need to get people who know me, like me, and trust me and want to do business with me. So I need to get heavy on the phone. And that's just the way I do it. Get heavy on the phone and start building relationships. 12 to 1 is lunch. 1 to 6 is appointments, but I'm a brand new agent, so I don't have appointments yet. So 1 to 6, I'm back on the phone prospecting.
Oh, yeah.
When I came back into real estate, October 2014, 8 to 10 hours every day, Monday through Friday, I prospected using Red X. I probably made 500 to 800 calls a day, triple line dialing, losing people in 10 seconds because I couldn't keep anybody on the phone. Okay.
Sure.
So all those calls, yeah, there's a lot of them, but you're dialing 3 lines at once and I can't keep anybody on the phone for 5 seconds. Yeah. That's part of the learning process. You have to go through that.
You got to get your reps. You got to suck before you're good. Period.
You know, nobody can do the push-ups for you.
No.
You got to do them yourself.
Yeah.
So 8 to 10 hours a day, I prospected. And every Saturday and Sunday, I did an open house. I would get up on Sunday at 6 a.m. I'd go put out the open house signs. I'd come back home at 8 o'clock. So it'd take me 2 hours. I'd put out 50 to 100. I put out a lot. Go by one of my open houses. I just did one last week. I put out a lot of open house signs. I'm a big believer in that. They work. I'm just going to say it works.
They work.
And so Sunday morning, I would get up at 6 a.m. I'd go put out signs. At 8 o'clock, I'd come back home. I'd get the wife and kids up. Maybe we'd eat breakfast. Maybe we wouldn't. We'd leave the house. We'd go to church. I'd drive a separate car because when church got out at 12, I went straight back to the open house.
Yeah.
And I did that for a few years. And all of that, it took me from October till January of, we were 2014, 2015. It took me about 100 days to get my first listing. They also canceled on me real quick.
Damn.
Some slick agent came in and was more slick than I. And I said,
oh, is that the word that they used?
Yeah. I'll never forget it. I'm like, what does slick mean to you?
Yeah.
Because it means to me like, he's going to stab you in the back.
Yeah, right? Me too.
He's going to take advantage of you. He's going to lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah.
But whatever. So I learned a lesson. Long story short, first year real estate, 22 homes. Second year, 39. But I did that because I showed up and I called every single day until I figured it out. Until I could keep somebody on the phone. And I know the power of prospecting. So if I was a brand new agent, that's how I'd run my days. I'd prospect probably 6 to 8 hours a day. I'm crazy like that. But I know that the law of averages, the more calls I make, the more people are going to answer. The more people that answer, the more conversations I'm going to have. The more conversations I have, the more opportunity I have to get somebody to know, like me, trust me, and to give me an opportunity to work with them. And the more people I can get to do that, the more opportunities I have to ask for the appointment. Means more people show up. I have more deals. You want more deals? Talk to more people.
Yep.
And that's what I would do. And I'd probably, to break it up, because most people can't probably prospect as much as I'm conditioned to prospect now, right? I would break that up with some home tours, going out in the marketplace, doing some things to break up your day, but doing things that are going to better you as an agent. Doesn't mean you go home and play video games. No, you go preview 3 homes, walk through them with your phone, shoot some video, come back, put it on Facebook. You know, I had a new listing hit the market over the weekend, and I pushed the video out because the open house was a little slow in the beginning, or a little price, a little high. And so at the beginning of the open house, I was just sitting in there pushing this out to Facebook groups. I'm looking at it right now. I started this video on Saturday, pushing it out to groups. I have 18,000 views.
Yeah, boom.
So
how much did that cost?
That was $3.99.
Free. Hear that, everybody? I already knew that answer, but it was free.
I had to make sure I answered it right.
Yeah.
It was free. It required me to create. I did boost it. That's separate. Okay. This is a post that I took. I shared it from my business account to my personal account, because my personal account is the one that's in all the groups.
Yeah.
I went in and I read some of the groups' rules to make sure that I could post so I don't get kicked out. And from my personal account, it was copy the text. You're calling me.
Oh.
It was copy the text, paste it to a group, cut, paste, copy, cut, paste. And I did it for 30 minutes, and I think I shared it to 42 groups. I got 18,000 views. That's 18,000 people in 4 days that now know me or know of this property. Do that every week. Okay, even if you got 5,000 people, do that every week. That's 20,000 people a month that see your name. Okay, maybe it's the same 1,000 people over and over. Those people are going to remember you.
Yep.
And if 10% of those 1,000 people call you in the next 18 months, you got 100 transactions. You're welcome. But you have to do the work. Real estate is about doing the work. Real estate is about, okay, if you're going to prospect, you prospect. If you're going to door knock, you door knock. If you're going to do open houses, you do open houses. I believe that you should do 2 or 3 things. I'm not a big door knocker. I got tattoos. It gets hot outside.
Yeah.
I'd rather sit in the office and make phone calls. That's my superpower. You took everything away from me in real estate. They said you could do one thing. I'd say, give me a computer and a phone and some numbers. I know I could survive off that. For a newer agent, the next best thing, well, prospecting is going to take some time to build that pipeline. But while you're building that pipeline, you want some right now is your sphere of influence and open houses. You should be fighting agents in your office over who gets the open house.
Absolutely.
And if there are no open houses, you need to go inside your MLS. And for us, it's very easy because I can sort by MLS number, so I know who's out of area.
Start prospecting for open houses. Easy.
Prospect out of area agents. I love it when there's a brand new listing in Marietta, the agents in LA. They're not driving 2.5 hours to do this open house. Yeah. Hey, Suneet, I saw you got a listing in Marietta, man. Congratulations. You don't mind me asking how? Oh, it's your mom. Okay, great. Listen, I noticed there wasn't an open house this weekend. Do you mind if I do it for you? Piss off. All right. Have a good day. Good luck selling the house. Yeah. Next. And then until I find somebody that says yes, and, the lowest hanging fruit, are the buyers out in the open houses. Think about it. They have fought through all the fears, the insecurities. They know they're going to go get bombarded by people, right? They're going to go into open houses, and they go do it anyways because they're motivated. Those are the people I want to work with. So while I'm building my pipeline of my PPC or whatever those internet leads that I've got, right? Because those are going to be 90 days to 6 months out. I'm in open houses. And everybody needs to remember and understand. I'm going on some wild tangents right now, but I feel motivated and excited. Because everybody in an open house is going to tell you what? I have an agent.
Oh, yeah.
And 98% of them don't. And even if they do, and you didn't sign a buyer broker agreement, it doesn't mean anything.
100%.
And I'm sorry, agents, if I pissed some of you off by saying that, but this is the competitive world, and real estate's competitive. And, in real estate, it's about meeting that buyer, having a process, having a consultation, and getting them to agree to commit to work with you. And until you have that, you're giving the opportunity for somebody else to come in and ask for that business. Many times these buyers don't know the process. And you're too afraid to ask them, hey, Suneet, will you hire me as your agent? And so they're at home talking about it, going to bed and they're at work and they're, oh, your agent hasn't had you. When we worked with an agent, we signed a piece of paper that said they were our agent. And all of a sudden they start getting some doubts and some fears. And then somebody like me meets them at an open house. And I'm like, yeah, there's a process. And they're like, oh, well, we didn't have that with the other person. And the process makes me feel more comfortable and more confident. And this seems more professional. And I feel you're going to do a better job. And they might not say it, but that's how I get them feeling with my actions.
Yeah, dude. That's so good. I hope everyone listened on that. I can see why the team is doing well with that kind of energy and that kind of motivation and direction, that kind of like leading from the front. Love that. Talk about, to the team leaders listening, what has worked for you in building and developing your sales team?
I still have not figured that one out, to be really honest with you. That's still a work in progress. But
what's been working for you?
One of the things that I've learned, and this was a hard one, it's going to pain some people to hear this, but you got to let go. Like, I wanted so badly for some of these people, not some, all of them. Like, I hired you because I want you to be successful. Because we sat down in an interview and words were said and exchanged where you told me that you have a belief system like I have and that you wanted greatness. And I realized early on in growing the team that I wanted it more than they wanted it. And I got emotionally involved. It was as a new team lead, that's very overwhelming. That's a lot of burden to carry.
It is, dude.
And you don't really think about it, but you're carrying the burden for the 5 people that aren't showing up and doing the work, and you're more worried about their real estate business than they are. You're carrying that burden for them.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do. And you've got to come to the realization that, I think I've heard John say this, several of you guys say this, but like, my job as a leader is to facilitate an environment where you can choose to be successful. I can't do the work for you. I say this, if you want to swim or learn how to swim, but you won't jump in the pool, I can't teach you to swim. Let me know when you want to jump in. If you want to learn how to ride a bike, but you're afraid to sit on the bike, I can't teach you how to ride a bike. If you want to learn how to sell real estate and prospect and converse and have conversations on a high level, you got to pick up the phone, because I can't be there at the grocery store with you and hear how your conversation is going with the person behind you. But we can listen to your phone call tomorrow and say, this is what went well, this is what I would do differently, and give you the opportunity to learn. But if you don't get in there into the database and do the work, there's no data for me to get back to you. So the first thing I had to realize is I had to let go of that part. And I had to understand that as long as I believe that I'm fulfilling my end of the agreement, and when I sit down with agents, I make this agreement. I tell them, we're entering a business relationship. And in that business relationship, I'm going to offer you systems and processes and leads and training and mentorship and Reside and an admin team and an ops team and marketing.
Love it.
And all this stuff. And what I ask in return for your side of the business relationship is that you give back your time and effort. I'll do the investing, you give the time and effort, we meet in the middle, and we will have a great business relationship. But let me ask you something. If, Suneet, at the end of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, I'm not giving you the leads, the system, the training, nothing. How do you feel about our business relationship? I don't feel good about it.
I would hate it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, at the end of 30, 60, 90 days, if you're not giving your time and effort, how do you think I view the business relationship?
Good. So you've been saying that in your onboarding or in interviews or what?
Mm-hmm. Before I bring them on, I just want clarity.
And
It's been much better because I think everybody comes on with a clear understanding of what our relationship is, and now it's much easier for me to lead and train because there's a clear definition. Versus, I don't think sometimes agents come in and understand where their split's going, and they don't see it as a business relationship. They see it as, you're the guy or the girl that takes my commission from me.
Yeah, and you're super rich, and you are making millions of dollars a day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I pay millions of dollars. I don't pay millions of dollars, but it costs me a lot of money. And guess what? If you guys don't perform 1 month, you know who swallows that? I do. You know who loses sleep at night? I like. If this is the things that I would say to them, but It's the reality of it, right? Sometimes you have to break it down to, let me ask you a question. Let's just, for argument's sake, say it's a 50-50 split. If you bring in a $20,000 commission and we split commission 50-50, you got 10, I got 10, the company got 10. How much money did you make? 10 grand.
10 grand.
How much did the company make? Some people understand that there's a cost. Some people will come in with a low number. Some people will say 10 grand. Well, I didn't make 10 grand because I have the office space, the cost of the Google leads, the Zillow leads, the Reside, the operations team, the salaries. I mean, could I go on and on and on and on?
Yeah, right.
So no, I didn't make that. I got some of my investment back. And then, there was a little bit of cheese left on the plate, what we call profit. But ideally in a real estate company, it's 20%. So
ideally it is, yeah.
$2 grand on that 10, not 10.
Yeah.
And, maybe that's too much for some people, Suneet, but I want to be transparent in what we're trying to do here. The way I really view my agents is we're a partnership, and I want them to understand that we're partners. And it's not boss employee. It's not me, you. It's we are business partners. I want to come together with you. I'm willing to take the risk financially and invest some money into you so that you have some opportunities, so that you can be introduced to some hand raisers. All I ask back is that you commit back to me and give me your time and effort. Do we agree on that? Can we agree that that's what our business relationship will look like? And if they understand it, maybe it's like, and you got to understand that the company's going to invest some money and take some split back to reinvest back in the company, pay back what the company invested.
Sure. Yeah, dude. So
is that fair? And the reason why I had that is I was having some issues where I don't think people were really understanding their contracts and their commission splits. And I don't know, does this come up, Suneet? New team starting where everybody all of a sudden wants to bitch and complain every time they close a deal? It's like, let's renegotiate the contract.
I think it happens all across the board. Yeah.
It's not just me. There's a mini coaching session now too. All of a sudden.
You aren't special, bro. Yeah.
So with that being said, I changed things I changed how I do things a little bit up front so that there was just, I want transparency. I want to understand that, like, we're business partners in this, right? Like, I would say Reside is my business partner. Reside has a genuine interest in me performing well, and they have a genuine interest in helping me grow.
Absolutely.
Right? And I understand that we're business partners, and I understand that in that love and that encouragement and that guidance and the information that you are giving us, that there's a trade-off, that I give you back some of the pie. And I want agents to understand that that's how our relationship works also. Like, treat this as a business. And I'm hoping that maybe it takes some of the emotion out of it.
Good. Dude, that's so fire. You just lit some fire. Got a couple minutes left. What's some advice you got to everybody, team leaders and agents who are listening?
To the agents listening, well, to everybody, because I think team leads have this opportunity to get into action. Do it. Do the work. Stop thinking about it. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Understand that it's going to take some time to learn. Understand that your journey is going to be different than others. Don't compare yourself to others. I mean, it is good to compare because I'm competitive. But I use this example, okay? Like, I always grown up a small guy, and I was skinny fat. I didn't like it. Okay, and you could have this. I mean, you just use guys. You could have this guy that was a certain weight, and for a year ate cheeseburgers and pizzas and put on all this weight, and then he eats chicken and rice, and 30 days later, he's the most cut, lean guy. Like, what the heck happened, right? And I can't get there that quick, so neat. I'm on like the 2-year plan. The way my body is, it's just not going to do that. And I don't know if I'm on the 2-year plan. I'm being facetious.
Well, we're also older, but yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is I believe that I can still have the physique that I want to compare myself to. It's just going to take me maybe a little longer to get there than that other person. But damn it, I'm going to get there too. And I want you to understand in real estate that same principle applies, that you start real estate brand new, and the agent next to you gets a deal faster. Okay. It just wasn't your time. Like, stay committed to the process. Stay focused to doing the work, because your time will come. And sometimes, right, that agent that comes on and gets 5 deals, I'm throwing a number out there, but all runs into instant success. Sometimes all of a sudden they're taught a lesson a little harder that way. You got lucky. But now real estate's going to teach you what real estate is really about. And sometimes we have to learn that up front. Sometimes we just don't get lucky. Everybody doesn't win the lottery.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is, I think most of us know the work we need to do, and I think that when we come in, we know what we need to do, but we're scared. We're stuck in fright. We're stuck in inaction. And if you can live with the one principle that conversations equal commissions, the more people I talk to, the more money I make. And just no matter what, every day, whether you're a team lead trying to grow your team, talk to more agents. Whether you're an agent trying to close more deals, talk to more people. And make that number one focus, that you can afford now to make mistakes, because you know what? I'm talking to more people. So this one person, my one of one, I got 10 of one, right? I got 10. I can make a mistake because I'm continuing to prospect and continuing to build relationships. And so it's okay if I make a mistake. Where, like, Suneet, if you got one client or one agent you're trying to bring on, and that's your one of one, and you screw this thing up, where are you at?
Yeah, you ain't getting paid.
You screwed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't put yourself in that position. You can control how many calls a day you make. You can control how much effort you put into having conversations. You can control how much time tonight I'm going to log into Reside, for those of you that are on Reside, and log into some training and do some training. You can make a decision tonight that you're going to go Google Tom Ferry cold calling expireds and watch. That's where I learned. Tom Ferry and Derek Lipsky. I don't even know who Derek Lipsky is, but he's on YouTube.
Yep.
I watched him cold calling people, man. That's how I would watch these guys.
Videos. I watched all those videos. Good, dude, man.
So do the work, man. Do the work. And I promise you the results will come. Just understand, results come at different times for different people.
Yep.
But that spot in life, that time where you feel like, I'm going to give up, dude, I can't do this. That's the exact same spot everybody else gives up at. The difference between those that make it and don't is the people that made it felt like giving up, but they didn't act. They just kept going. They said, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to believe in the process. I'm going to believe in my coach. I'm going to believe in my team lead. I'm going to believe in my broker. I'm going to do the work. And I know I'm not seeing the results yet, but damn it, I'm going to it, and I'm going to power through this. And guess what, guys? Down the road, you run into another one, and I still run into obstacles, and Suneet still runs into obstacles, and we still have days where we don't want to wake up and don't want to do this shit and want to watch Netflix all day long. No, just me? Okay. I'm being facetious. But you still get up and do the work. You got to, all right? Like, yeah, it's so much easier to do that than it is to show up and do the work every day. So that's it. Thank you guys for having me on.
You brought the fire. If anyone wants to send you a referral or learn more, how do they find you?
BringasHomeTeam.com, Bring AS. You can call me, text me, 951-595-5998, or just Google Justin Bringas and find me on Facebook.
Dude, you brought the heat.
I hope I did.
You sure did. That was
I hope
a great episode. Good. So everybody watching, dude, check out Justin. He's doing the thing, the hard work. He is like achieving mastery at the phone as far as I'm concerned. Whenever I do a phone training and he's on, I just pass the mic to him. So thank you for that. And I hope everyone watching, listening, got something out of this episode. We don't run any ads on this channel. It's just our intention to provide value. So if you got something out of it, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this episode with a friend who needs to share this episode with a friend who needs to pick up the phone. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Reside Platform podcast.
Thank you, guys.